Thinking ahead, preparing, and buying only things that we will really use is some of the best ways we can save money. In this video, I'm going to show you a couple of small shopping trips, a recipe, and just talk to you a little bit about how I prepare for things to come and save money while doing it. I hope you will stick around. If you've been following me since last year, you know that I started working at the state fair last year. It's a 10-day job. It's temporary, it's seasonal, and they hire everybody 55 and over. They work with my back pain. They work with the fact I can't stand, sit, do a lot of things like that for very long. They give you extra breaks. They made adaptations for me and gave me a special chair, all kinds of things like that. And it's something that I really enjoyed and I want to keep doing. But I also want to be able to afford to work there. They only pay minimum wage. Each year you go up a quarter, but it gets me out of the house. It gets me getting to spend time around crowds and getting to interact with the public, which I love. And they work with us because when I did my interview, the lady told me, honey, we all have these problems that are working here. All of us, including me. So don't worry about it. So that was really comforting. And that's something that I want to stick with doing. But because they pay so low and because I have to drive quite a long ways each way to work there, I've already started making a list of foods that I can take with me to save money because I don't eat at the state fair. It's very expensive. I will treat myself a time or two that week to one of my favorite things, like maybe their roasted corn on the cob. But other than that, I take my lunch, I take my drinks, and I eat everything from home. So I've already started making a list of some of the things that I could take. For instance, I may take some pasta salad. That would be a good thing to take in my lunchbox. Carrot sticks with maybe some dressing to dip it in, or just eat them plain. I already have purchased some string cheese. We'll see if it's still around come the state fair, but that's a quick snack in between customers that you can eat. Yogurt, another quick snack that is filling and affordable. And I may take some hard boiled eggs. I did that last year. That was a really filling, nourishing thing that I could grab and eat. And I really like hard boiled eggs just with salt and pepper. So I just put them in baggies and put salt and pepper on them. And then they're ready to go when I'm ready to eat them. And then I'm going to show you what I picked up in this next little shopping trip because I was thinking ahead to the state fair. I had an Ibotta rebate, and this made something really affordable that I could throw in my lunch. Here's a couple of the good deals that I came home with this week. I found an angel food cake marked down to $2.64. I have some strawberries in the fridge, so that will go great with that. You can't even buy a mix nowadays for that price. And then I picked up 5 of these chicken of the sea tuna kits. It has crackers, it has dried cranberries, it has your mayo and your tuna and a little stick to eat it with. And I thought these would work really good when I do the state fair job again this year. I'm looking for things that I can easily pack to take with me and snack on during the day. And with the Ibotta rebate that I had of 50 cents per packet, it made them 98 cents each. So I thought that was a great, quick way to pack some snacks coming up. So I don't know if you could see in that packet, but there was one of those full packets of tuna that are in that little sleeve that you can buy that can cost anywhere from $1 to $1.59 a packet. And I got the whole thing with that entire regular size packet of tuna for 98 cents with the crackers, with the mayo, with the cranberries. And the funny thing is I was in a store the next week and I saw those for $1 more a package at the same chain store than what I paid for them, which would not have made them a good deal. But where I grabbed them, they were only $1.48. So when I took off that 50 cents per package, it made that complete meal in that kit for 98 cents. Super excited. I can't even buy that pack tuna for 98 cents. So then I thought, I'm going to stop by that Amish. They think they call it like scratch and dent stores, right? They have things that are out of date. I'm really cautious about what I buy out of date. I won't buy any sauces, dressings, mayos, anything like that if it's out of date. I won't buy any crackers if they're out of date. Those things I feel like go bad pretty close to their date. And I've been sick before on salad dressing, just carrying it back and forth in my lunchbox to work before. So I don't like to mess around with salad dressing. And a bad cracker is a bad cracker. It's hard to get that taste out of your mouth. So I'm really cautious. But if there are packaged items, canned items, frozen items, I have no problem buying some of those things that are out of date. I feel like I pretty much know what is okay to buy and what will last and what won't. And some of that comes from us owning a grocery store and bringing home the things that went out of date and eating them. And we did that while we had the grocery store. It made it affordable for us to have a grocery store in a small little town of under 500 people because the things that went out of date or were starting to go bad in the produce area, we just brought them home and ate them. And we lived off of that for the time that we had the grocery store. So I stopped by the Amish little store. I love going here. I love the atmosphere. They drive horse and buggies in this area, but they also are okay with driving tractors. So you'll see a lot of tractors driving down the highway because they're using it for transportation. And there will happen to be one parked at the store when I got there because one of the Amish ladies was working before one of the teenagers took over for the afternoon. Now, it takes a long time to go through this store. It is not large at all, but I'm really cautious looking at dates and I'm really cautious looking at ingredients because my husband is gluten free. A lot of times they have a lot of gluten free items on markdown, and that is a good deal for us because that's something then that I don't have to make and we can use that easily. But I go through everything very, very carefully and I only buy what I need or what I know I can refill at home in containers of things that we are already using. So let me show you what I picked up there today. So I stopped by our little discount Amish store. It's a little over an hour away from my house, so it's not something that I go to very often, but I did stop by there today. I had to go there for another reason. I picked up two canola oils for only $2.99. These are more like $4.99 around here for any type of oil. Even the canola type or the vegetable oil. Oil has really gone up. And then I picked up this apple cinnamon pancake mix for $1.59. That's for me. I picked up a gluten-free buttermilk pancake mix for my husband. This was $2.89. Now, I do make our own gluten-free pancakes, but they're just not as fluffy as I would like them to be. So I'm going to take my mixture and mix it with this mixture to see if we can get a fluffier set of pancakes out of the next batch. I picked up this butter flavored popcorn salt. It was on sale for $3.09 for this huge bottle. I got some microwave popcorn for $1.09. And then they had their sprinkles on sale for 59 cents. So I got some gold and some silver and a couple of red because I used up all of my red and my green last Christmas when I made almond bark pretzels. They also had some marked down gluten-free white bread for $1.99 and some hot dog rolls for $1.99. So I went ahead and picked those up for my husband. And then they had bulk popcorn for only 77 cents a pound, which is a really great deal to restock our bulk popcorn. And then they had all kinds of flavors of bulk jello. And I was able to find blueberry, which is one of the flavors that I am excited to find. My mother in law has a recipe she makes around Christmas time with real blueberries and blueberry jello. And now I was able to find some. And a 10-pound bag of potatoes for $4.49, which is a good buy around here these days. I think I saw them the other day for $5.99. So now comes the important part of putting everything away where I can find it and refilling containers so that I know what I have so that I don't duplicate purchases. Now we're going to make a recipe that is super frugal, and a lot of it was given to me. I hope you enjoy this next recipe for basil pesto. It's raining again here in Kansas today. We're going to mix up some basil pesto. My daughter gave me a bunch of fresh basil from her garden. I cut off all of the leaves and washed them. I'm going to put them in my blender and put it in here as tight as possible. Then I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of minced garlic. I use the refrigerated kind. It's just easier for me. Then we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Since I can add to this later on, I'm just going to stick with like 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And then we are just going to add a little bit of olive oil to this, blend it up until it is about the consistency that we want. This can store in your refrigerator for about a week, but I don't think ours will last that long. And then just continue to add some olive oil until you get the leaves to break up the way you want. Use a spatula to push them down in there. This basil is so fragrant, it almost smells like something that would make you want to sneeze. And then this recipe also calls for just a tiny bit of lemon juice, so I'm just going to pour a tiny bit in. So you can continue to flavor this once you mix it in with your pasta. I added another tablespoon of garlic. We like a lot of garlic. I may even add more salt later on. I'll just see what it tastes like once I get it all together. But super easy and a very affordable, delicious treat of a meal. My daughter mixes that up, puts it in sandwich bags, presses it flat and freezes it, and then thaws it out when she's ready to make it, and has basil all through her freezer. But they love it, and I can see why. It's totally delicious, super frugal, and has kind of a gourmet aspect to it. You feel like you're eating at a real Italian restaurant. Of course, we're going to substitute gluten-free pasta. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and maybe it's given you some ideas on how you can start looking ahead, even if it is a couple of months out. I know we do that a lot around the holidays, but we can do that at other times of the year as well. If we have an event coming up, like I know I'm going to be packing my lunch for 10 days, I'm going to start looking now for bargains and making a list of items that I can do. Last year, I prepped all of this stuff ahead of time, put it in the fridge, and then every night I could just quickly unpack my lunchbox and the next morning quickly pack my lunchbox and have food every single day without spending or being tempted to spend at the fair, because at minimum wage, I would be out money working there if I was eating there every day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for stopping by today, and I hope to see you in the next one.